To Adam. This morning I had to write up the little short introductions for everybody, so this is pretty much stolen from his Facebook profile. He's now wondering what he wrote. So Adam Lee's an engineer by day and describes himself as a Saab nerd, proudly European, British, European, Australian, and a cantankerous old duffer. He co-hosts, this is really important, he co-hosts a podcast series on YouTube with Graham Hughes. Graham Hughes holds the world record for being the first man to have visited every single country on the planet without flying. And does he still hold that? So, yeah, so he still retains that. And Adam's driven down from Yorkshire today to be with us. He was slightly late because whilst listening to a bit of smooth jazz down the M69 or M69, the M69, he rescued a family from a burning car this morning, so he was a little bit late.
I opened the door so they could get out.
Adam's driven down from Yorkshire to be with us. After having enjoyed Boris Johnson's company 3 days ago in Yorkshire, didn't you?
Yesterday.
Yes, or was it yesterday? I thought 3 days ago. Okay. Anyway, hand over to Adam Lee.
Thank you, Gordon. This is actually easier on the videos than what it is in front of all you fine people. I'm a little bit more nervous for some reason. But there we go. It's nice to meet you all. Now, just in case you don't know where Yorkshire is, it's in the north. Now, if you head up towards this big centre called London, now that's where we get our hot air from, where we're getting our current Indian summer, in this lovely little town of Lyndhurst, I think it's called. But it is Lyndhurst, this isn't it? It's not part of Southampton, it is Lyndhurst in its own right. It's Southampton postcode. So Southampton, I used to work in, and a couple of years ago I was quite despondent about what happened. And there was a video that appeared on my Facebook tube called Three Men in a Pub. And Graham Hughes was one of the gentlemen who was doing this, and Jason Hunter, and there was a guy called Kieran the van driver who, I don't know whether you've seen any of these podcasts, but Kieran the van driver was talking about the difficulties of a no-deal Brexit, should that happen, or even Brexit in general, and the trade difficulties getting goods to and from Europe via Dover Calais and Folkestone Calais. Kieran, I got in touch with him and I said, look, you know, your guy Kieran, he's really good, he knows his stuff, but he's scratching the surface with what he's talking about. I'd gone back up north by this time, so where I'm from, Yorkshire, you get to London, you keep heading north. On your maps down here, it might say something like Verity Dragons or something. And Boris Johnson found out that yesterday, twice, once in Doncaster and once in my hometown of Rotherham. So can we have a round of applause for those people who stuck 2 fingers up at Johnson? Right, so that's one swear I'm going to do, Alan. So anyway, I went back up north and I got in touch with somebody. They put me in touch with Graham, and I said, look, you're scratching the surface with what Kieran's saying. I do a lot of work in ports and in oil refineries and things like that, and all of a sudden, you know, I realised I've got photographs of myself on these quay cranes, and there's literally thousands of 20-foot equivalent unit containers and 40-foot containers on the quayside. 1 million containers in 2017 were brought into the United Kingdom on ships and put on rail and brought through the port of Tilbury alone into the UK. 1 million, that's one port, and that's by rail. So on top of that, you've got Southampton rail and trucks, you've got all of these different places. So I was up north, and Graham said to me, can we go to Southampton, get us into the port? Nearly got us arrested. We are in danger of losing democracy in this country under Boris Johnson. We've got Demonic Cummings, who's an unelected bureaucrat in Downing Street. Who do you think is the Prime Minister? It isn't Johnson, is it? Right? So as Maddie says, and I turn my hat off to Maddie and the young fellas, Jack and James Dart, they're really driving this campaign. If we leave, and it's by no means settled, if we leave, we're looking to the young people who will take us back in. We'll not get the same deal, but I admire them. And I feel despair when these people get criticised because they're putting their head above the parapets. It's tall poppy syndrome. We used to have a saying in Australia when I lived there, tall poppy syndrome. These people are getting shot at by our own side now. And what we need to do is get behind them and reach out. I mean, where I live, 67.9% of people voted to leave the EU, right? What makes them think that Westminster is going to look after them? What makes them think that they've got any hope from those windbags in Westminster? And that's what I find so confusing about Brexit and all that kind of stuff. So if we leave, and I've said this in a few of our podcasts recently, because we're no longer saying bollocks to Brexit, we're saying here's to the EU, right? You know, and I want to see that, and I want to reach out to people where I live, and some of them, they're no hopers. You know, I've got old friends who, they no longer talk to me, you know, because all they can resort to, and Maddie gets it online, and I get it online, you know, I'm carrying a few extra kilos, you know, I'm an old rugby player, you know, I'm broad-shouldered, I can take the insults. Thank God I'm not a woman, because to be a woman in this atmosphere, it's so toxic, you know, and I've got a 10-year-old daughter, and I think, wow, you know, this is what she's going to face if she stands up to be counted. But what I want us to do is try and reach out, as Maddie says, with love. You've given me a really good idea, Maddie. You know this trolling that you were talking about, and people saying, you know, objectifying you, and you pose in each capital city in a calendar in a bikini. I'm going to suggest that Graham and I do it in a man-bikini. Perhaps Gordon as well. He's a handsome fella. So there we go, over there. Sorry. Now, I know some of you are not going to eat tonight. Anyway. But I think, you know, if we could really take these people on a journey with us and reach out to some of these people. Speaking to the MEP yesterday, Yorkshire voted around 66%, 65% in a whole to leave the EU. Leeds voted to remain. A lot of the South Yorkshire constituencies voted to leave, but Leeds voted to remain, sorry. So, but now they've got 3 pro-Remain MEPs, as well as 3 Brexit parties. There's 1 Liberal Democrat, there's 1 Labour, who I spoke to yesterday, and there's 1 Green. So that's a 50-50 split in my book. So it's not lost. But what I want us to do, if Bozo Johnson and Demonic Cummings takes us out on Halloween, I want to see people out there protesting. Do it here in Lyndhurst, and you know, I mean, at night here, I guess you have to go out in pairs. You know, it's a bit rough. It's nice to see where the poor folk live, you know what I mean? But if I want to see people out here protesting, do it peacefully, but don't shed a tear, right? This continent has had too many tears shed for it. My father's father, my grandfather was killed in the war, you know, fighting to save democracy. You know, I want to see people out there not shedding a tear, because it will be on the Brexit Broadcasting Corporation, and the headbangers will use it as propaganda. Salty Ramona tears. I can see the headlines in the Daily Hate Mail. So don't shed a tear. Stand with your friends and your partners, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your children, your neighbours and your colleagues who are from Lithuania, Latvia, France, Germany, wherever. Carry one of these. Where's my flag? Carry one of these flags, but a big one, right? And carry one of their flags, and carry a union flag, and stand in solidarity, because we're proud Europeans. They can take a legal thing away from us, but they can't take us out of Europe. Now, I'm one of those people that says, well, I'm going to be a bit busy, or whatever. And I have been, and I voted to remain for purely selfish reasons at first. I didn't understand the EU. But now I'm getting angry. And what you see on podcasts and what people see of me at work, I work in quite a dangerous environment, high pressure, a lot of responsibility. You see this swan gliding across the water, but underneath the legs are going like this, and I'm like that up here actually. But I'm getting angry that I'm having my rights and my daughter's rights taken away from me, right? People say the biggest democratic exercise, if that's democratic, you're more likely to see angels fly at my eyes. So don't let them take it away without a fight. And if they do, get straight back up and get campaigning to get it back in. Because this is the best, biggest peace project that the world has ever seen. A lot of people fought for this. And Mark Pudding-Francois will say, well, Churchill wasn't European. He talks about a United States of Europe. The only reason we didn't join earlier was because Charles de Gaulle was a bitter man. But hey, that's politicians, isn't it? Okay, right. So if you want, get in touch with myself or Graham. Graham is at Every Country on Twitter. I'm at 4th of 373 because I was the 4th of 3 blokes in a pub. And there's a little bit of a Star Trek reference in there. Who knows that? 7 of 9, 4th of 3. Well, she looks better than me. Okay. I've got a face better suited to radio, I know. But get in touch with us and we can look at getting you involved. A year ago, we did the 2 Southampton videos down here at the Happy Cheese. The Happy Cheddar or the Happy Cheese? The Happy Cheese, good beer. The alcohol-free beer was not so good. Okay. So please engage with us and keep watching us on YouTube. The only thing that the haters have got now are insults. They've got nothing left. Demonic Commons has got nothing left. I'm supposedly one of these leftist, elitist Ramonas. That's what it says. Yesterday I was in Primark buying 2 pairs of jeans for £10. Elite. So anyway, so get involved, get in touch, and keep strong, and stand by your friends, your relatives, your colleagues who are going to be upset. And stick 2 fingers up to Johnson and Demonic Commons, because that's all they deserve. The lies that are undermining this democracy that many men and women paid such a high price for. Right. So, hope I've inspired you. Has anyone got any questions? Oh, come on, I don't mind. No? How was that?
Fantastic.